Welcome to Chart Up to Bank Up, TradingView Basics. This video is the recording of part 1 of this 3-part class series. We will be going over the basic tools of TradingView to help you navigate this platform with ease and confidence. It is highly suggested that you view part 1 first, as this will help you tremendously with part 2. Well, okay, let's get started.
So I'm guessing everybody had started trading?
Nope.
No, there's various levels of traders and students here, so you're not out of place. There's people that have been trading on demo. There's some that don't even know what demo is. So this is open for everyone. I just ask that, if you have questions that you don't understand because it may be a little more advanced for you, just take really good notes. It will all come to you eventually, but you're welcome to stay.
All right. Well, I plan to do a lot of studying tomorrow. Hope I'll try to join the demo tomorrow, so hopefully I can catch up to the more advanced students.
Great. Okay, Miss Daisy, are you here?
Hello, good evening. I was on mute.
All right,
I was
maybe we should start
apologizing
talking.
for just now getting on here to greet every one of you, every 153 of you. Hi, good evening. My name is Diamond Daisy Wall Street. I happen to be Savvy's mother, and I'm usually the
Oh,
one
good
that
evening.
greets good evening. And I'm usually the one that greets everyone. I'm really absolutely delighted to see all 155 of you. I know there will be more coming on. I tell you what we're going to do though, since I have introduced myself to you, why don't you introduce yourself to me? Please tell me your name and from where you are calling.
I'm Carlita Johnson. I'm calling from Columbus, Ohio.
Welcome, Carlita. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure.
Charlotte Irvin from Columbus, Georgia.
All right, I see there's Dorothy Hall. Welcome, Dorothy.
Yes, I'm from Bowie, Maryland.
All right, Bowie, Maryland. All right,
Yes.
welcome, welcome,
Thank you.
welcome.
from
Thank you.
Ontario, Canada.
Canada, wow, thank you
Wow.
for being here as well.
Marty,
Los Angeles, California.
California is here, Canada's here, Georgia's here, Texas here,
Marty
Oklahoma's
from
here.
Marty from
Ian-
Palm Springs, California.
Palm
Ian
Springs.
from
Oh,
Brooklyn,
lots
New
of-
York.
Okay, Brooklyn and Palm Springs, California. Thank you
Virginia.
so much for being here. Virginia
Jillian
as
from
well.
Toronto, Canada.
Hello, Jillian. Welcome, Toronto, Canada.
Thank you.
Yeti.
Dayton, Ohio.
All right, Joe Helen. Thank you for being here.
Great, North Carolina.
DC. All right, DC, North Carolina. All right.
Yeah,
Springfield, Ohio.
Okay, and I see you there, Yaya Abdullah. Welcome and thank you for being here. And we have
Yemi from Lagos, Nigeria.
Nigeria. Welcome. I'm so delighted that you are here.
Israel.
Springfield, Ohio.
I heard you, Israel. Welcome. I heard you, Ohio. Welcome.
Priscilla from Nigeria.
Did you say Priscilla from Nigeria? Welcome.
Yes.
Liata. All right, welcome. I see you, Liata. I see you. Welcome.
Hey Daisy, how you doing?
Awesome. Just awesome.
Linnell from Houston.
Awesome.
Hello there, Linnell, Houston. Welcome. Well, I'm just down the road from you. I'm in Dallas.
Trish from Bermuda.
Oh, wonderful. Welcome. I see you, Mr. William Johnson. Thank you for being here,
Hello.
sir. I'm delighted. Hello, my beautiful Sheila Lively. Good evening, dear. How are you? Welcome.
Hi, ladies. How are you?
Awesome, Sheila. Just awesome. All is absolutely well.
Thank
Hello,
you.
this is
Talk to you
Anna,
later.
Detroit, Michigan.
Okay, I did hear Detroit, Michigan. I heard someone that said Texas. Where did
Arlington,
I work?
Texas.
Arlington. I used to live in Arlington, Texas. Welcome.
Phoenix, Arizona, and Virgin Islands. Good evening.
Phoenix, Arizona, and Virgin Island. I'm delighted. Good evening to you as well. Okay, it was a lot of you. I'm really stretching to get everybody when everybody's saying good evening and greeting at once. I'm really stretching, but you know that I am delighted that all of you are here. We're at 165 right now. And what I'm going to do is to give this one more minute, another 60 seconds, and then we will just go on and get started with tonight's training. All right.
Mona Rimber from Decatur, Georgia. Good evening, everyone.
Hello, 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 Ramona. Beautiful, gorgeous. I'm glad you're here.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Miss
Glad to
Daisy.
be here.
Lisa Dunn from Springfield, Ohio.
Hi, Lisa. How are you? Welcome.
How are you?
Esther Glaze in Los Angeles.
All right, Esther, Los Angeles. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having it.
It's my absolute pleasure, dear. My absolute pleasure. Hi, Esther. I see you. How are you? Welcome.
Thank you.
Hello,
Good evening. I am
this is Diane.
Lisa from Florida. Another
I
Lisa
hear
on the
that.
line.
I think I heard that beautiful soft voice of Diana Kane. If that was you, Diana, welcome, dear. I'm
Thank
delighted
you.
that you're here. It's my pleasure.
Thank
All
you.
right. Listen, you all, we're going to have to, I really want to greet all of you personally, but it's 6:40 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it is 7:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I need to mute all of you. Okay, wonderful. Savvy, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Fantastic, wonderful. Okay, you all, I see that you all are steadily coming in for the training, and I really don't blame you. I'm here all the time as well. It's really quite delightful to see all of you here, and those of you that have been on pretty much every one of Savvy's calls, from the setup to bank up to the three-part trading view that she has been doing for the last month or so. I'm really excited that you all are definitely here, and you all are just faithful and loyal. And it's like every time she does any kind of training, you all are always here. Thank you so much for that. That's from a mother. Thank you so much for that. With that being said, I'm not going to prolong this. What I will do normally, I close the room 5 minutes after we start, but she did have quite a number of registrations, and since a lot of those numbers will more than likely be coming on, I'm going to leave the room open for maybe about 10 minutes as opposed to 5, maybe even 15, just so others can actually join. So if you know of anyone that you know did register, after all, this is Friday evening, and I know some people do a bit more than what I do, maybe do some things I used to could do that I don't do anymore. So I don't, what do you call it, get lit up on Friday evening. So some of these people, you may want to call them and let them know the room will be open for another 10 minutes. And with that being said, I think that I will just go on and ask the amazing, absolutely amazing and very delightful and just a joy to have as a daughter, and feel truly blessed that she is. I'm going to relinquish this forum over to Savvy.
All right. Thank you very much, Miss Daisy. I certainly appreciate you always welcoming the guests in. And now you were a little late today, so I'm gonna have to dock from your pay, but it's okay. It's all right.
Okay, I deserve it. I deserve that. Okay.
That's all right. All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. I want to go ahead and get started. First, let us thank Miss Daisy for always being our host, our co-host, and welcoming everyone into the room, making you feel comfortable, getting you ready to get some of this knowledge, get some of this value that I'm going to be sharing with you today. Please follow Miss Daisy, reach out to her. Miss Daisy also has a group, and it's for everyone. You know, it's for the young, the old, all kind of cultures and backgrounds. You want to be a part of her group, and I will post a link to all of her information right now in the chat so you guys can join and follow her. Thank you, Miss Daisy, for all you do. Okay, now my YouTube channel. Please go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's going to be really important for you. The YouTube channel link can be found in my Telegram group, which is Bake Up Trade House on Telegram. You can also search for me on YouTube at hashtag It Pays to Know Savvy. I have decided, because a lot of people have asked, that I will upload part 1 and part 2 of this training. I typically do not record and upload my trainings, but I did have a lot of people that asked. So I decided that I would do it. Now I'm only going to leave them up for 48 hours after the class so that people have a chance to view them, watch them, and then hopefully meet back up with us at part 3 when we go over everything that we've learned and you guys show me what it is that you've learned. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that you can be notified when I've uploaded them, okay? Now, we got a few class rules before we get started. Because we have so many people on here, it's very important that we try to maximize our time and make sure that we get everything done. These classes are 1 hour classes, okay? So we're going to try to get as much as we can done. And by doing that, I will need your help to do that. So someone is saying they can't hear me. Yeah, you may need to connect your audio. Okay, so first thing, please, please, please be sure that you are muted. It is so disturbing and disrupting when there's background noise going on and you guys aren't checking to make sure that you are muted. I have a very limited time to get you guys a lot of information, so I really can't have the distraction of asking you to mute yourself. So just please kind of take care of that and make sure that you respect everyone's time that's here and you mute yourself. Now, next, please pay attention and take necessary notes. If you are following along with me on your laptop, that's fine, but just try to pay as much attention as you can. Don't try to multitask and do other things. Again, this is just an hour, so I'm not going to be able to go back over every single detail multiple times. Plus, you will have the video up after class anyway, so that you'll be able to go back and look at those kind of things. So just kind of pay attention. Please post your questions in the chat. Miss Daisy will be going over those, making sure I don't miss any. If for whatever reason you just, really need to kind of speak your question, that's fine. Just make sure that you raise your hand so that I can call on you. And if while you're waiting, your question is answered, please just lower your hand because that can save us time and I can be answering someone else's questions, okay? And as always, please be courteous to other attendees. Let's not interrupt other attendees. Let's not interrupt me. Let's just be courteous to each other, okay? So,
Savvy, before you go as far as the chat, because sometimes it comes in a bit and if I kind of glance the other way, but I see I have a pretty good assistant here. I have Tyler Holmes. So Tyler, thank you so much. And anybody else that may want to jump in and also, especially if you have accurate information to respond, we can all do this together. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Sounds good. Thank you. All right then. Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. I'm just now noticing that you guys did not see any of my screens here. But you didn't need them. I went over everything. Okay, so let us start on TradingView. Okay, so the prerequisite to this class was that you had to at least have opened up a TradingView account. You can open up a free account. If you're a newbie, you do not really need a paid account right now. That's an expense that you don't really have to worry about. The free account is more than sufficient to get you familiar with TradingView and how to use it. So since you have opened up your account, I'm assuming, once you log in, this will be the screen that you see. What we're going to do is we're just going to go over the chart. We're going to look at a chart and we're going to go over all the tools on the chart just to get you familiar with where to find the tools, how to navigate in TradingView. This is not a class to show you where to put your support and resistance or where to draw your trend line or what a particular pair is doing. This is simply the tools you need to be able to navigate through TradingView, because when you're new, it can be a little daunting, it could be a little overwhelming, and you don't know where things are at. So this is the reason why I created this series, to just try to help ease you into TradingView where it doesn't feel so overwhelming, okay? So on the screen, in order to pull up a chart, you want to click right here where it says chart. Okay. Now, that is going to open up a chart that looks very similar to this. This is a chart that has not been edited. It hasn't been customized. This is just how your charts, this is just how they look, okay? So what we're going to do, first I'm going to go over like a few things, and then I'll stop and make sure, see if anybody has any questions. Then we'll go over a few more things, stop, and someone does not have themselves on mute. I'm hearing an echo. Okay. So that's how we're going to do it. We're going to take it in chunks. Okay. So the first chunk we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to customize your screen. So for one, you have this indicator down here on the bottom. When you're new, you don't even know what this is. You don't need it. So what you want to do is you just want to right click somewhere on this indicator. Okay. And you're just going to click on remove. Okay. So that's first. We're going to clean that off the screen. Now, say you want to change the color scheme and change the appearance of your screen. All you want to do, you have two options. You can right click anywhere in this open space that you see on the chart. You can right click and a menu will come up and you go down to settings. Okay.
Let me try to find that person. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. I found it.
You found it?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so your option is you can click anywhere in the blank space on this chart. You can right click and go down to settings, or there's a little settings wheel that's right here at the top of the chart, and you can click on that as well, and that will open up your chart settings. Okay. So first place we're going to go today is we're going to go on the appearance screen. It's already on the appearance screen. So let's say, for instance, we don't really like the black background. We want a white background. So you will change the background color to white. Now, if you're like me, you may not like these horizontal and vertical lines that are going across. If you do not like those and you want to remove them, all you're going to do is change the color of the vertical and horizontal lines to the same color as your background. So we're going to change those to white as well. And that will get rid of those lines. Okay? Now, the next thing we're going to look at is what's called session breaks right here. Now, right now it's not checked. That means that the session breaks are off. If you want the session breaks on, you will check that box, and then you can change the color. So let's say we want to change the color to black. Well, now you see these session marks come up, and all that means is that in between each of these session marks is a full trading day. Okay, so this is one trading day, this is another trading day. That just helps you keep count of where the candlesticks are. Some people like keeping them on there as they're charting, some don't, but this is how you get those, and we'll go over that more on tomorrow's class. You'll get to see how we can use those to help us study for pairs. But right now I'm going to turn them off because they get in my way. Okay. The next thing I'm going to show you, we're not going to worry about the scales, text, or lines. Those are things you can play around with later. We will look at this crosshair. So this crosshair, I'm going to change this to black since we have a white background. And the crosshair is usually your mouse when you're on the chart. Right now it's on, there it goes. Okay, so this would be your crosshair. So some people like it, some people don't. If you don't like seeing the lines that go across, you can just change the color of the lines to the same color as the background. So now you don't see the lines as you move the mouse, okay? And the last thing on this screen that we're going to look at is this box here where it says watermark. Now I'm going to move this over a little bit so you can see. If you can see this pair here in the back that says EURAUD, that's what's called a watermark. So you can have that on or off. Some find it helpful when you're on the chart. That way you don't have to try to look in the corner or look on the other side of the screen. You can keep that on. You can turn it off by unchecking it. If you like it there, you can also change the color and the opacity of it. So let's say, for instance, we want to change it to this light blue. You can do that. And then you can also change the strength of the color. You can make it more deep or you can make it more faint, okay? For now, I'm gonna keep it on there for now. The only other thing in chart settings that you might wanna take a look at is we're gonna go over here in this column to the left and we'll click on symbol. And these first three that you see here, these are your candlesticks. So if you ever wanna change the color of your candlesticks, this is where you would do this. I would just suggest whatever color you select, you make it the same for all three. So if you're going to change these candlesticks to blue, make all three of these blue. If you're going to change these to yellow, make all three of them yellow. It just makes it a little easier and cleaner on your screen. Okay? Any questions about the settings before we move on? Let me look in the chat and see if you guys have anything there. Okay. Okay, someone asked, how did I get to this screen? Okay, so I will go back and show it again. When you initially log into your TradingView account, you will be on this page, looks similar to this. You'll see your account name here up at the top, your profile name. You're going to click on chart, and that's going to pull up your chart. Okay. All right, moving right along. Okay, now we're going to go to the right side of the screen. I'm going to show you some things here. Now, keep in mind that there are always multiple ways to do a certain process in TradingView. My objective is to show you some of the easiest ways to do it. If there's somebody on the line that knows how to do it a different way, your way is not right or wrong, and neither is mine. It's just multiple ways to do the same thing, okay? So what I'm going to show you first is how you actually pull up a pair, and you have two ways that you can do this. So one way you can do it is right here on the left side of the screen where you see this pair symbol at, EURAUD. You can go here and you can type in your pair. You can type in, let's say we want to see USD JPY. You can type that in and that will pull up the chart. Another way you can do it is you can go here to the right side of your screen, and this actually will say watch list. If you have a new account, it'll say watch list. And right here in this blank box that says add symbol, you'll put your cursor there and you will type the pair that you're looking for. So let's say this time we're looking for AUD USD. Now, if you notice, several symbols come up in this list, okay? My suggestion for you is that you always choose the symbol that's labeled FXCM. This is very important, very, very important. I'm gonna repeat that. When the list of pairs come up, select the pair that says FXCM, okay? This is important because these brokers that are on TradingView are not the same broker that you're using to actually execute your trades on your phone. So sometimes the timing may be a little bit off. FXCM is going to be closest to most of the brokers that you use, whether that's Osprey, Hugo's Way, Eagle FX, Trader's Way, whatever broker you use, FXCM is going to be closest. If you use Oanda, I'm telling you now, it's going to be off. It's going to throw your trades off because it's a lag there. So just trust me on this. Select the FXCM every time No, you don't. You don't type it. It's already there. It's on the list. If you look at the pair and you look over to the far right and you see all of the different exchanges that are here, that's where you'll see FXCM. It says Forex FXCM. So you want to choose, and it's usually always the first one at the top. Now, once you start getting into indices and other pairs, FXCM may not be an option. So at that point, you would need to choose one of the other exchanges. But a rule of thumb is to always choose the FXCM pair, okay? So once you've chosen that, if you do it on your watch list, it's going to automatically pop watching. And that's why I like to use the watch list, because I can put it in there and then it pops up on the list and it stays. I don't have to continue to go back and forth to different pairs. So now it pops up on your list, and now you want to go take a look at that particular chart. So you'll just click on it and it will pull up AUD USD, just like that. Okay. Now, with that being said, we're going to move on to the other side of the screen. That's really all you need to know for now, just to get you guys started on that side of the screen. It's a whole lot of other things you can play around with, but I'm keeping it as basic as possible. If you do not see the watch list tab, it might be because it's minimized. It is this icon here that's at the top right of your screen. It may be minimized like this, so you don't really see it. If you don't see it, then you need to click on that icon and open it up. Let me see if I had a question. Okay. I hope that answered your question if you don't see the watch list tab. Did I have it? Okay, good, you got it. Awesome, awesome. I think I saw a hand raised. Hold on just a second, let me go look. No, I guess I didn't. Okay, great. All right, so we're gonna move over to the left side of the screen. This is where all your tools are at. These are where your lines, your trend lines, boxes, this is where everything is at. I'm only going to point out the important ones that you'll need as a new trader, okay? Because once you get advanced and you start doing other things, you'll find out where the rest of those tools are anyway. I don't want to confuse the issue, so I'm keeping this as basic as possible, okay? So we're going to start with this first set of tools here. These are your cursors, okay? So if you click this little arrow right next to it, this will show you a drop down. It will show you the different cursors that are here. So you have the option to use the cross, the dot, the arrow, and then you also have an eraser here. So I typically like to use the cross, but you're welcome to change and use whatever you want. Now, as I'm hovering over all of these options, do you see that star that's on the right side of each option? That's your favorite star. So if you have a favorite and you want to just save it as a favorite, and I'll show you where that comes up at and where it will save you some time, you can click on favorite to add that as a favorite. When you add a favorite, it then gives you like a little floating toolbox right here. So you'll notice that as we're going down these tools on the side, every time we add a favorite, it will pop up in this floating box. That's going to save you a whole lot of time when you get ready to chart, okay? So we've looked at cursors. We're going to go down to the trend line tools. You're going to click that arrow right next to it. And then you see a bunch of options for you to use. Now, I'm going to point out the ones that you will probably use most often as you're charting. That the first one would definitely be a trend line. You're going to use that, so we'll save that as a favorite, and you see how it popped up there on the floating favorites toolbox. You're also going to definitely need the horizontal line, so we're going to save that as a favorite. I typically have the horizontal ray as a favorite, and I also have the vertical line, and I have the arrow. Now, I have a few others, but those are just the basics. So we're just going to keep it with that. Okay. As you begin to chart and get more familiar with charting, you can start adding others that you feel are ones that you use more often. But for today, we'll just stick with those as some favorites. Okay. Now, the next one here are your Fibonacci tools. We're not going to look at any of those because if you're new, you have no business trying to do anything with Fibonacci. Trust me on this. Okay. So we're going to skip those. The next one are your geometric shapes. So there are a few that you might want to use here. For one, you might want to use the rectangle. That's what some people use to chart out their zones. So you can use that. You might even want to use the ellipse. That's pretty much all I use here. But again, if you see some other ones that you might want to use, you can click on those as well. Okay. Next, we're going to go to the annotation tools. If you're one that likes to type on your chart and, give yourself little notes or make notes about what a support resistance line is or where you went into a trade, you definitely want to save the text tool as a favorite, okay? And you can save some of these like a call out, and I'll show you how all of these look in a second after we're done going over the tools. So we can save that as a favorite and whatever else you see down here that you might want to save as a favorite, okay? The next one is patterns. You don't need to know anything about these patterns. If you're a newbie, that will just confuse you. Prediction and measurement tools. So if you get on a lot of the live calls, you will see the master traders use long position and short position. This is where you find those at. So in case you are ever on the live calls and you're wondering, where do they get those from? This is where they get those from. Long, of course, is for a buy, short is for a sell. This is where they get them from. I don't typically use them, but if you do, you can definitely save them as favorites if you'd like, okay? Next, we have icons. These are just a bunch of different icons. You can choose to use them as you will. You cannot save them as favorites, but they're here. If you, for whatever reason, want to throw a heart on your chart, you can do that, okay? Next is the measurement tool. This is a very important tool here. This measures your pips. So you can't save it as a favorite because it's its own tool. You don't need to save it as a favorite. It's always there. So the way you utilize that is you will click on it and you will take it over to your chart and you will just measure from either bottom to top, top to bottom, and it will count your pips. So let's do a little example here. So for instance, let's say that we want to measure this drop, this whole entire drop from the top here all the way to the bottom. So what you will do is we've clicked on the measurement tool, we'll come to the top, we'll click it one time, and we will just drag it down to the bottom. And then we'll click it again and that locks it in place. And as you can see, that measured us 141 pips, okay? That's a very useful tool for you to use, by the way. Okay, moving along, you have your zoom in. And what this does is this allows you to zoom closer into candlesticks. So for instance, say your chart is looking a little like this, okay? And you want to see what this area here is doing. So you'll click on this magnifying glass and you will kind of highlight it like this. And it expands and it makes the candlesticks a little bit larger for you to really be able to read them. And then if you want to go back to the way it was, you would just click the zoom out. Okay, I'll do that one more time. You click zoom in, you click and drag to make a box, and then you release it, and when you release it, it will magnify those candlesticks for you. And then to go back, you just hit zoom out. Okay. Next is the magnet. just you don't need it. It's a weird tool. You don't even need it. Just skip right on over that. Okay. You don't really, this one is self-explanatory. Stay in drawing mode. You're always in drawing mode. Okay. The next one is a lock. So what this does is it locks anything that you've drawn on your chart. So let's say, for instance, we were drawing a trend line. Sorry, this one. Say we drew a trend line here, and we drew some support and resistance lines. And I'm just throwing some lines here. I'm not trying to be accurate. I'm just throwing some stuff up here. And you don't want to make a mistake and move any of those lines or delete something by accident. What you would do is you would come over here to this lock, and you would lock all your drawings that you put on here, which means you can't make a mistake and move them. So even if I click on them, they don't disappear. They stay exactly where they're at. Now, if that's unlocked, you can make a mistake and you can move this around, or just if you want to move it, period, you can move it around. You can delete all of that. Okay. Now, this next tool is, again, self-explanatory, hide all drawing tools. So this will just temporarily hide your drawing tool. So if we click on it, it's going to hide all the things that we drew on the chart. And then if you want to see them again, you'll click on it again for them to appear. Okay. Next, you have the trash can. I think that's also self-explanatory. That just removes all your drawings. So if we click on that, it will completely delete everything that we drew on our chart. And lastly, you have this star that's down here on the bottom. That is your floating drawing tools favorites toolbar. Okay. So this is your favorites toolbar. You've built it up now, and it just floats around. You can move it wherever you want. But if you don't want to see it on your screen, you can click on that star and it disappears. And then when you're ready for it to again, you can click on it and it appears again. Okay, so I'm going to take a beat and find out if I have any questions. Let me check the chat. Okay, yes, you can delete individual drawings separately. That's super easy. So say, for instance, we've got, let me put these lines back here again. So we had these lines and we had a trend line. And say you just want to delete this trend line. You would just click on the trend line to select it and hit the delete button on your computer. That's it. Or you can click it and you can right click and you can say remove, and that also does the same thing. Okay. Let's see, what is the purpose of TradingView? The purpose of TradingView is to mark up your charts, as someone answered. This is the basics of market structure. You really cannot effectively trade without looking at the chart and marking it up and analyzing the market. It's not possible. You can't be an effective winning trader without doing that. So that's what it's for. It's very important. Let's see. Please remind me how to get rid of those candlestick. Oh, the candlestick looking things at the bottom. You just want to right click on them and then click on remove, and that will remove them. My bottom has dates, so it doesn't look like yours. How can I change that? Your bottom has dates. Not really sure what you mean by your bottom has dates. Let's see.
Where you have 10, 12, 12 o'clock, 17, mine says September, October, November, December. Yeah,
Oh,
right
you
there.
just, your settings are, I'm getting ready to go over that. That's just your settings.
Okay, all right. I put in there if I was going ahead, let me know. Yeah, okay,
no,
thank
that's
you.
fine. You're welcome.
All right. Coach Savi?
Yes.
Yes, afternoon. This is Lemon. Just a quick question. Can you remind me how do you measure the fix? What tool do you use to get the fix? The amount of
I'm sorry, it's really hard to hear you. It's like you're going in and out. Can you repeat that?
Oh, I was saying the pips. You hear me now?
Yeah, a little bit. That's a little better.
What food?
No.
I can help him. He's asking if you can show him again how to measure the pips.
Oh, okay. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so you're going to click on this measure tool and you're going to measure from the top to the bottom. So we're going to measure this drop right here. So we're going to click one time, release your mouse, drag it down into the very bottom, and then click on your mouse again. That locks it in place. And it's 141 pips.
Thank you very much. Yeah, man, that's explains it. It's food that looks like a ruler.
I'm still not understanding you.
Oh, I'm from Jamaica, that's right. But
It's
food
like
that
a
looks like
ruler.
a ruler.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a ruler.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Patricia, you have your hand up. Can I help you? I thought okay. I'll lower your hand. Let me go back to the chat, see if there's any questions there. Is the TradingView platform different from, I think you mean MetaTrader 4? Yes, it's very different. It's more user-friendly. There are some people that use the MetaTrader 4 on their PC, but as somebody that used that when I first started trading, it is not user-friendly at all. TradingView is much more user-friendly, and you can do a lot more with TradingView. So yes, it is different. Let's see. Okay, how do you show the pair name and background? That was in when we went over the settings, so you're gonna probably have to look at the video again when I upload it on YouTube because we went over that already. That was under settings. Lisa, yes, your question is advanced. I can't really say there's a benefit over using the different candlesticks. It's just what works best for you. Heikin-Ashi takes out a lot of the noise, so you just either see all red and all green. It kind of just, it more so goes by the volume of the pair rather than what exactly the candlestick is doing. It just kind of depends on what your trading style is, but there's no right or wrong way. Do you lock the pips?
Thank you.
Area? Oh, you're welcome, no problem. How do you lock the pips? I think I went over that already, so I hope you understood that. Is TradingView free? Yes, you can have a TradingView account for free, but I will tell you, once you really begin trading consistently, you will want to upgrade because for one, those little pop-ups are going to get on your nerves. And for two, you can do a little bit more with a paid account. You can have more alerts. Alerts will definitely come in handy when you're marking up your charts and you want to be alerted when a pair hits a certain price point so that you can look at it and execute your trade. So yes, at some point you will want to get a paid version, but if you're just starting out, you're in demo and you're just learning, a free version is just fine. Okay. Let's see. How much is it? You can go look on your TradingView. I think it starts at like $15, but they're always offering some kind of special. So what I would suggest you do is utilize the free account for 30 days. When you get down to about like day 27, 28, they're going to send you an email and they're going to give you like some crazy, ridiculous deal on an annual plan. So do it that way. Also, they always do some type of really large discount somewhere around Thanksgiving, either like right before or right after Thanksgiving. They'll give you an offer for like a stupid low amount. So just deal with the free one if you want and just kind of wait until they give. Okay. How do you get out of the Zoom? Go and click on the zoom out. So if you zoomed in, you're going to click on the zoom out that's right under it to zoom out, okay? All right, so let's move on. We're making pretty good time, pretty good. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Okay, so now what I do want to show you before we go to the top of the chart, let's show you the time here. So right here where I'm circling at is your time. You want to make sure that you have it set on whatever your time zone is. It's going to help you. Now, the time is always going to be in military form. You'll get used to it. I do. So it's just, there's no way to change that. That's just how the time is set. It's always military time. But go ahead and click on that and choose whichever time zone matches with where you are at, because that is going to definitely help you. Okay. And let's see. So as far as, I think someone was asking about their dates weren't showing the same as they were for me. I believe that is, I'll tell you in just a second. Oh, okay, I think we did that. And yours might be showing differently also, because depending on what time frame your chart is on and also how expanded or not it's on, that also makes a difference as well. But as you move your mouse, you can see the date and time move with you. So that's always going to give you what the date and time is for you. Okay. I'm seeing some stuff come up in the chat, so let me go back. Yes, there we go. Address is the address I use to download trading view. It's at the top right. Oh, okay. What is the difference between watch list and red list? There's no difference. Actually, that's if, okay, so say for instance, let me add some more pairs over here so you can see. So let's add, we'll add UJ, we'll add EU, and well, okay, we'll just add those for now. So you can, if you hover over the pairs, you'll see this little flag, looks like a little flag to the left of the pair. If you click on that, you're able to, if you have a paid account, you're able to change the color. If you have a free account, it will only be red. That's the only option you got. So it will turn it red. Then you can then just categorize them in the color that you need. So if you have, your red ones are your pairs that you do during London session, then those are the only pairs that come up. It's just different ways that you can categorize your pairs. Okay. Okay, someone says every 10 minutes a window will take your trading to, yeah. So that's the part about a free account. You're going to constantly have pop-ups that come up. That's just comes with the territory of having a free account. Those pop-ups are going to come over and over again. So if you can deal with that, just use your free account. If it gets on your nerves, then go ahead and upgrade to a paid account. I don't know why you're having to refresh every time. You should just be able to click an X. It's usually like an X to the top right or left that you can click on. Alicia, how do you know when to position your support and resistance? We don't go over that in class. You should be learning that through either the videos that you're watching in your back office, or if you're getting on any of the live sessions. For those of you that are not in Tradera, because there are some people here that are not necessarily affiliated with a particular company, you can learn a lot on some other platforms. If you go ahead and add yourself to my Bank Up Trade House group on Telegram, I will be more than happy to give you some direction on where you can learn some of that stuff from, okay? All right, so let's do the top row and then I will get to asking some more questions or answering some more questions. So we're gonna start here at the top. Now we already went over how you can look for a pair in this first box here where it says AUD USD. So you know that part already. So if you move over, the next section is your time frames. These are the different time frames of your chart. So right now we're on a 1 hour chart. If we want to move to a 30-minute chart, we will click on that drop down arrow that's there and we'll go to our 30-minute chart and that will pull up our 30-minute chart. If you have favorite charts that you look at, favorite time charts that you like to always look at, you can do the same thing and you can mark them as favorites. Then that way they just show up here and you don't have to always click the drop down. They will just automatically show up here. Okay. Moving on to the next. Okay, I see a hand raised. Daisha, do you have your hand raised?
Yes, I do. While you were
Okay.
speaking, I was not seeing anything that you were doing.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's okay. I'll go back over it. Not a problem.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Let's go back over that again. So we see AUD USD right next to that. These are where your time charts are. So if you want to, we're on the 30-minute chart right now. So let's say, for instance, we want to go to the 4-hour chart. We're going to click on that arrow, that drop-down arrow. It's going to give us all of our different options. And you're going to click on 4-hour chart. And that's going to change it to the 4-hour. Now, if you have some favorite time charts that you like to deal with, what you want to do is you want to choose them as favorites, just like we did the tools. So you will select these stars over here. So say, for instance, the 5-minute, 15-minute, and the hour are the intervals that you like to deal with. You just make those favorites. And then what you can do is you can just click on them here. You don't have to always click on the drop down. They will just be here. So all you got to do is click on them to navigate through each interval. Okay. So next to that, we have the candles. Okay. This is where you have your different candles. Someone was asking about the Heikinashi candles. This is where you will find it at. These are, based on what you like to do. These are all personal things. If you're new, I would suggest you just stick with candles. That's going to make it the easiest for you. But this is where you would find the other candles if you want to, navigate through some other ones. Okay. The next box is compare, add symbols. We're not doing any of that, so we're going to skip that part. This next section is the indicators and strategies, the FX button. That's your indicators and strategies. So let's go ahead and click on that. So when you click on that, I'm going to take this out of my favorites so you can't see that. So when you click on that, it will go to your built-ins. These are all the indicators that TradingView has to offer. Okay. So instead of going through the list, you can search for the indicator that you want. So let's say, for instance, we want to put an exponential moving average on our chart. So you can just start typing moving average and you'll start seeing them pop up here on the list. So then we're going to click on moving average exponential. But now say we want this as a favorite. So before we do that, we're going to click on that star right next to it, make that a favorite. And then we're going to click on that indicator. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but when you click on that indicator, it automatically shows up on your list right underneath your pair here on the left side, okay? So let's say we want to add another moving average. You'll just click on it again, and then it'll add it here. And these are where your indicators, let me move this out the way. These are where your indicators end up at, okay? Over here to your list, you'll hover your mouse over the indicator. You have a hide tool, which will hide whichever indicator you're referring to. Next to it, you have a settings tool. You'll click on that settings tool, and this is where you can change your settings. So let's say we want to change this from a 9 EMA to a 50 EMA. You will put in 50 there. You can then go over to style, and you can change the color. So say we want to make that pink, and we want to make it a thicker line. And so now we've completed our settings, and we click OK. And now we have our 50 EMA. Then we have this other EMA that's on our list, and say we just don't want it anymore. So you hover your mouse over that indicator, you go over to the X, and you click remove, and it removes that EMA. Okay? And actually for now, that is all we're going to go over today. I do want to show you one thing. Right here where you see that it says unnamed, that's the chart that we're on. If you ever want to name your chart, you can click on that drop down. This is, I will call this my training chart. So you will click on your name, it'll pull this box up, you put the name that you want to change it to, and you click save, and it will save it to that particular chart. I believe on a free account, I think you can have one or two, I think you have two chart layouts. So you can click on new chart layout, and it will open up, yeah. So I think you can only have one on the free account. So this would be the only one you'd be able to have if you have a free account. But if you do have a paid account, you can have multiple different charts, which again is a benefit of having a paid account, because you can use one chart with certain settings for particular pairs or particular strategies that you're working on without having to, you know, delete and utilize the same chart for everything that you're doing. So that's another benefit of having a paid account. Also, these charts save automatically. So every time you put another drawing tool, when you put another line here, or a trim line, or you put some text there, it automatically saves for you. You'll see this little box kind of circle around, and that's it auto saving for you. So you never have to worry about, well, how do I save it? It automatically saves for you, okay? So let me see if there's any questions. Can you go over to settings one more time for the EMA? Sure thing. Okay, so we have, all right, see you later, Tyler. Okay, so you have your indicator here. So you're gonna take your mouse and you're gonna hover over that indicator so it can pull up your options here. And you're just gonna go over to this settings wheel, click on that, and it's going to pull up this box, a setting box. You can choose to edit your inputs and your style. So your style will be like the color of your line. You can change it to purple. You can change the thickness of the line. And then over in inputs, this is where you would change the type of EMA that you have. So right now we're at 50. If we wanted to change that to 100 EMA, you would put in 100 there and just click OK, and it changes for you. Okay. My group may be a private group, but I will put the link here. There it is.
I don't get the EMA.
Well, the EMA is not for you to get. I was just showing you how to get a indicator. I'm just showing you how to put indicators. Again, this is not a Forex training class. This is a trading view trading class. So I'm just showing you how to put your indicators there. That could have been any indicator. I could have done.
It's not showing on my chart.
Okay. Well, did you go through the same steps that I did when you go on the indicators and you search for moving average, and then you select
Okay, I guess maybe I missed a step. I'll get it in the video.
No, we'll go over it again. Let's go over it again. So you have no indicators there on your screen. You're going to go up here where it says FX. That's your indicators and strategies. You're going to click on FX. When you get to this screen, you'll see all these built-ins here. You'll see all these indicators. You can just type in this search bar, moving average, and you'll see it come up on your list. Whenever you see the indicator that you want, you're going to just click on it. When you click on it, it pops up on your chart.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's see. How do you get the EMA again? Okay, I went over that. Okay. All right, do I have any hand raised? Let me go see if I have any hands raised. I think I have is that Lilette? Lilette, got your hand raised?
Sorry, I think that was my thing on my phone. Sorry.
Oh, okay, no problem.
I don't even know how to remove it. Okay.
I got it. Don't worry about it. No problem. Okay. Do I have any, what's the purpose of the length and EMA input settings? That would be a trading question. EMAs basically measure the candlesticks prior to. So for instance, if you have a 50 EMA, the EMA is measuring the 50 candlesticks prior to that point. So it's showing you the moving of the candlesticks for 50 prior to that point. If you have a 9 EMA, it's showing you 9 candlesticks. So it's like it's kind of showing you a little behind on where it might be moving forward. But again, that's something that you would need to get in your studies. If you're in the Bank Up Trade House, I can try to help you, point you in the direction of where you need that to study, okay? Let's see. I put in Bank Up Trade House link in the chat, so just scroll up a little bit. I just put it in there about 5 minutes ago. Just scroll up a little bit. Okay, perfect. All right, do I have any other questions right now? Okay, Dwayne, I see you have your hand up. No? You changed your mind? Okay. Okay.
I have a question.
Sure.
On the right hand side where yours says, hold on, let me zoom out. Point set right there. Where all those numbers, the 0.72, 400, point, yeah. Mine, how do I get that? Like mine all the way at the bottom says 0.65, so I don't know.
That's fine. All those R's, that's just the price. That's just pricing. So your screen might be like this.
Yeah.
So that might be why you're seeing it. Hold on, let me make that color look a little better so we can see. There we go. Okay. So yeah, your screen might, so first of all, you might be on a different time than I am, which changes it too. And then your screen might be minimized a little bit more, but that's just price. This is not going anywhere. It's not making a big difference. Your screen might be up like this. You know, that's all that is. That's just price.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Dwayne, you got your hand raised again. Have a question? Dwayne?
Hello?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I had some problem unmuting just now. All right. As it relates to the time zone, the one at the bottom.
Yes.
Yeah. How important is that?
I would think it would be awfully important because when you're looking at the chart, I mean, you want to make sure your time is accurate. But if you're on your computer, I mean, all your computer shows your time in the bottom of the computer anyway. But I would suggest you just change the time zone to what's closest to you.
Okay. I didn't hear you mention that, so I was just pointing it out for persons are probably from different geographical location.
No,
So
I
that
I
maybe
did.
before
I
the
went over
months.
that. Yeah, I went over that. I promise I did.
Okay.
Yes, she did.
Missed it. All right, thank
That's
you.
okay. You're welcome. Okay, let me put the Bank Up Trade House link in here one more time. There you go. The recording of this training will be on YouTube. I cannot guarantee that I will do it tonight, but it should be up there by morning. Okay, let me see. All right, well, I guess you all are pretty much good to go and ready for tomorrow. Now, tomorrow we are going to be going over how to choose your pairs and how to study those pairs. Okay, that's what we're going over tomorrow. And then, as you know, on our third session, that will be your turn to show me what you know. You will be taking control of the screen and you'll be showing me what you've learned. So be prepared. I really don't want to have to call you out, so just be prepared to volunteer, but I will call you out if I have to. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's session. I hope you found some value in what I shared with you, and go ahead and join my group so you can stay in touch and in contact, and I will see you all tomorrow afternoon, 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. Okay, have a good night, everyone.
Thank you, Savvy.
Night.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Miss
You're
Stacy.
welcome.
Thanks so
Thank you.
much.
Welcome.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Savvy.
You're
Everybody
welcome.
won.
Thank you so much,
Good.
Savvy.
Thank
You're a
you.
lifesaver.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
You're
very
welcome.
much.
Thank you, Savvy.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome job.
Thank you,
Thanks.
ladies.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You rock, Savvy.
Thank you.
Yep. One more thank you.
You're welcome.
And another one, thank you.
You're welcome.
And another one.
All right, thank you for watching. Please feel free to follow me on Telegram, Instagram, and Facebook. Also, before you go, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, happy trading!